Beautiful. Okay. Now introducing the body, Ornella, Amsellem. Next, we move into the body, because healing isn't just emotional, it's physical as well. Ornella is a certified nutrition coach and personal trainer who takes a deeply holistic, science-backed approach to healing the body. Her works sit at the intersection of physical health, nervous system regulation, and emotional well-being. She supports women through gut health, blood sugar balance, hormone support, and strength-based movements, always with an emphasis on nervous system safety. Ornella moves away from extremes and quick fixes. Instead, she invites women to slow down, listen inward, and build sustainable habits that support both healing and strength. What makes her words so impactful is the safety and the clarity she brings to the food and the body, helping women release fear, rebuild trust with themselves, and create change without burnout or restriction. Welcome, Ornella.
Thank you so much, Alana, and thank you, Liz, for starting off with the mind, which was incredible. Now we're going to move on to the bodies. Our bodies, I think I could confidently say, are the clearest piece of evidence of how deeply they must be cared for. In Judaism, we don't see our body as secondary to spirituality. Instead, our bodies are the vessel through which mitzvah and spiritual life exists. So protecting it is itself a mitzvah. We have a strong obligation to care for our bodies and care for our health. The core idea is that our bodies are not just ours to neglect, ours to do whatever we want with. It's something that God has entrusted to us. So when it comes down to it, taking care of your body is not just good advice. It's our religious duty and our religious obligation. We put so much emphasis on the mind-body effect, and it's super profound how the mind can affect the body, but we completely forget about the way our body affects our mind. Most people don't realize it, but our mood actually lives in our bodies. There's the body-mind effect, the state of your biology directly shaping your brain. For example, if you're magnesium deficient, would you ever expect it to show as anxiety? If you're low in vitamin D, low in omega-3s, you could even feel depressed and have ADD, but people would never put two and two together. If you're lacking folate, if you're lacking B12, you could struggle with focus, with your mood. And if you have heavy metals, it can cause insomnia, depression, and yet again, anxiety. But these are all things that we can fix. Even the heavy metals, even gut infections, and even those autoimmune reactions that can trigger all these psychiatric symptoms are all fixable. It all comes down to treating the body. When you treat the body first, the brain often follows and heals with it. And it starts with your nutrition. Your nutrition is the baseline of what causes a person to have autoimmune reactions against their own brain. It's causing so many to have these disorders that we think are psychological. But once you start treating your body physically, even those psychiatric problems can finally get better. It all lies in the gut. It lies in the hormones. It lies in the nervous system. The gut-brain axis. The gut and the mind are directly connected. They're directly intertwined. The gut is where all root illnesses and disease lies. And most are walking around these days with poor gut health and would not ever have a clue. They're not realizing it because it's manifesting itself through totally different symptoms that you would never even think are coming back to your gut. But disease is not something that happens overnight. It's occurring because of these small changes, these low-grade changes that are happening in your body. It could be over months, over years, and for some, even over decades. And it's happening in your body before you ever feel a single symptom. Our bodies are a highly intelligent system. Our bodies want to be healthy. They're not made or designed to be sick. But in our current modern society, we're providing the conditions for our bodies to be sick. And that's a lot of the time through the food that we have available. Your body's consistently trying to maintain balance, but if we keep giving it and feeding it ultra-processed food, poor sleep, chronic stress, and all these environmental toxins, we're simply creating the conditions for dysfunction. These days, you walk into a grocery store and close to 75% of the food that are on the shelves is fake. It's ultra processed. And we are constantly giving our bodies all these exposures, all these toxins, and a lot of the time, thankfully, we can actually do something about it. We can do something to help our bodies detoxify. So many of us have dysregulated sleep, poor circadian rhythms, and excess chronic stress. We're constantly, as we began with speaking about on autopilot, we're constantly on the go, running around. Our mind is doing 15 different things at once. We're all living these sedentary lifestyles, but these can all be changed. These are the things we have the ability to change, and we should feel empowered to actually start to make a change and do something about. Even the nutrient deficiencies, we can do something about. And when you finally know and recognize what you can make the changes to and what is causing disease in the body, you can allow your body to provide the conditions that are going to create a safe space, that are going to create health and help your nervous system thrive, rather than waiting for disease to come. You can start to see how slowly it's built and how predictably it's built. But the good news is the process works both ways. And when you can identify these changes early, you can also shift the trajectory and intervene early. You can change your body before it becomes a diagnosis. And that's the paradigm shift. Disease isn't a random phenomenon. It's actually measurable. It's something you can predict from all the early indicators. It's something you can decide. Not tomorrow morning, you could decide right now in your seat, this is the moment that you want to make that change in your body. Most people have literally not a clue that what they're eating is actually what's making them feel bad, or that the conditions they're suffering from are caused by food. Most people these days, unfortunately, a massive amount of people are walking around with inflammation, and that's because of our diets. And the worst part is, it's a chronic inflammation. It's that quiet inflammation that's creeping up in your body. You don't even know it's lying there. It's in your gut, it's in your fat, it's in your tissues. You don't even know you have it, and it's building up day after day, month after month, and even over decades. And most people would never connect it back to what's on their plate. It could take the simplest fix as just shifting your diet, starting to eat more anti-inflammatory, and that's the first step to completely resetting your body. Once you change what you eat, you could see the shifts in your body over time. A huge part of the diseases most people have are starting from inflammation, unfortunately. Nobody would ever think of depression as inflammation. Would you ever sit there and think the anxiety you're experiencing day in and day out is actually from inflammation? That struggle to lose the weight, obesity, even cancer, it's all rooted from inflammation. These are all inflammatory disease, and that are caused by these ultra-processed, nutrient-poor diet and damage to our gut microbiome. So what do we do about it? How do we heal? The goal is to reset, to click that button. What we want to be doing is getting our bodies back to its original factory settings. We want to get our bodies back to its original biology, the state in which God gave it to us in. And how do you do that? It's essentially a true detox. Removing everything that's feeding your unhealthy gut microbiome, everything that's spiking cortisol daily from the minute you're waking up, everything that's spiking insulin all throughout your day, and everything that's dysregulating your hormones and nervous system. In my experience, within days, a person's blood sugar starts to stabilize. Inflammation is beginning to drop. That constant tiring cycle of cravings, sugar cravings, late night cravings, whatever it may be, finally starts to quiet down. Yes, even cravings comes from inflammation in the body, and who would ever expect it? That food noise that so many of us are experiencing finally goes away. Most people start to notice better energy, improved digestion, and even a lot clearer focus, a clearer thinking in such a short amount of time. These ultra-processed foods that are sitting on the shelves that I wouldn't even call real food may look appealing at first glance, but the truth is, these are just foods that are designed to hijack our biology. When you remove them and when you replace them with whole, with real, with nourishing foods, it's like resetting your body system back to its perfect state that it was given to us in. Replacing your diet with whole foods and starting to support your metabolism and your brain, that is the first step to resetting. Incorporating true proteins, eggs, fish, poultry, meat, incorporating fiber through grains, these are all practical ways that you can start to make these changes. Even just diversifying your diet. You could be eating super clean, but are you eating diverse? Are you feeding that healthy gut microbiome? Are you having a wide range and variety of different fruits and vegetables? Why are so many of us looking to treat our nutrient deficiencies with the next supplement? We're looking for that B12 shot at our doctor. We're looking for whatever zinc pill we could find. Meanwhile, it's so readily available to us through our nutrition. But that's the problem with Western medicine a lot of the time. It puts such an emphasis on those quick fixes. Whether it be for weight loss and dieting, or whether it be for actual diseases, they're giving treatments that are not even preventative, they're just a Band-Aid. But we can't treat problems like diabetes or obesity by taking medicine. We have to go back to the root. We have to go back to the cause. And what is that cause? It's always coming back down to our nutrition, to what's on our plate. The food that we're producing is driving chronic disease. It's highly processed food. It's full of starch, sugar, preservatives, gums, fillers that are constantly feeding the unhealthy gut microbiome. And instead of these Band-Aids, some practical, obtainable ways to detox and start feeding the healthy gut microbiome is simply by incorporating more fermented foods, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, having natural probiotics and prebiotics, again, not running for that supplement. We actually have 1,100 different strains of probiotics in our body. When you're buying that supplement, that's targeting one strain, a single one out of the 1,100, if you even have that one. So definitely getting it through nutrition will always be the best and optimal way to go. And even, as I said, just diversifying your palate. And lastly, focusing on sleep. People would never tie it back to their nutrition, but sleep is key. It's just as important as what's on your plate. And the good news is, nutrition is not only the cause to all this inflammation and all that chronic disease that's living in so many people's bodies. It is actually also the fix. If you change your diet, you can see profound and rapid changes in your health. It's so remarkable how quickly even you could see these changes, how quickly our bodies can change when you simply just change what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. The headaches, the digestion issues, the poor sleep, the mood swings even. How many of us would put mood swings with gut health or inflammation in our body? Nobody would ever have a clue. The joint pain. How many of us are experiencing one of the above? And how many of us would never relate it back to what's on our plate? So many of us think these symptoms are normal. We think that we're supposed to be living this way and something could be wrong with us, but there's not really a true fix. But the truth is these symptoms are just signaling to us that our body is overwhelmed. It's overwhelmed by unstable blood sugar and all the inflammatory foods that we keep feeding ourselves. It doesn't take any miracle supplement or any medicinal protocol. It comes back down to your nutrition. When you remove these inputs and finally replace them with whole nourishing foods designed to support the microbiome and reduce inflammation in the body, you see the shift. You see how quickly your body starts to respond and in the most positive way. I'd like to close off by inviting everyone to just take a moment, sit and think to yourself. Maybe it's to yourself, maybe it's to a friend that came with you tonight, maybe it'll be at home tonight with your spouse or a partner. But what's one change you can say to yourself, you're gonna start today? Not next week, not when it's Monday, not when it hits May 1st, today. Take on one change, one real change, one lasting change. It could be in your nutrition, it could be what's on your plate, or it could simply just be a healthier habit. But make a real change and be true to yourself with it. Make that change to give back to yourself and to your body to beat inflammation and beat disease before it slowly creeps up and could eventually beat you. We all have the ability to. It lies in our hands to make those real changes. We have to ask ourselves, do you seriously want to be living the serenitary lifestyles? Or do we want to be living and serving our bodies purposefully, ensuring that it's reflecting on our minds and our entire nervous system in the best way possible so that our bodies could be healthy and thrive at all times? And it doesn't just come back to the physicality of it. Ask yourself, am I here to serve God? Am I here to serve my body purposefully and return it to God in the most perfect state and the way that it was given to me? It doesn't have to be such an emphasis on the physical, because by caring for our physical bodies, which is the vessel, we're caring for what's most important, our souls. So I invite you all to take on that one change. And change does not mean making a 180 overnight. It doesn't mean you wake up tomorrow morning and everything's completely different and you're making massive changes that are going to be hard to sustain. It means taking small, attainable, and realistic changes, a single habit, and slowly building it over time in increments. The key to success in truly shaping your health is baby steps towards miles. Something that may seem small now will have the longest lasting impact on your health in the long run. I thank you all so much for being here tonight, and I want you to all thank and applaud yourselves. Applaud yourselves for taking the time on a weekday, on a Wednesday night. Many of you are busy, you have your kids, work, family. But you took the time tonight and you took that dedication to yourself to truly heal your mind, body, and soul. And you're going to be taking that dedication, if you haven't already, to make that one change that's going to start tonight. And that is the key part to healing not only the mind and the body, but also the soul.
Thank you.